I'm here with Gavin Newsom, Lieutenant Governor, and Tom Freeman, the Foreign Trade Commissioner for Riverside County. Tom, can you tell me what has the governor or the lieutenant governor's role been in boosting the economic development for this region?
Not just a region, the state. If we were giving somebody a grade, we'd say A+. And that's because Lieutenant Governor has been overseas, he's been around the world, he's opening up markets. And we closed our foreign trade office in the state, which was a huge error in the early 2000s. Now, foreign investors are coming to California in record levels. Californians are beginning to ship products overseas in record levels. And right here, as you know, we already ship 41% of everything that's made to Canada. And we don't have that support right now in the legislature. Lieutenant Governor's on the lead on that, and we're very grateful to have him in that position, and we hope he keeps moving up the ladder because he knows, as a businessman, he'll keep trade and exports and bringing more jobs back to California from overseas in his priorities.
Well, I appreciate that, Tom. Tom's right. In 2003, we shut down our Trade and Commerce office, and as a consequence, all our foreign offices that were built up under Republican administrations and Democratic administrations were shut down, and we never replaced it. We are not aggressive. We've got to reconcile, and this is Tom's job every day, the world we're living in. No longer connected, but hyper-connected. This merger of IT and globalization has changed the level of the playing field dramatically. And California needs to be aggressive. We need to be nimble. And we've got to be out there making the case for this great state. We're still the 9th largest economy in the world, a $1.9 trillion a year economy. But there's no economy better positioned for the world we're living in if we take advantage of those conditions and opportunities of globalization than California. Our ports, our airports, the remarkable diversity in the state, the remarkable opportunities to showcase this wealth and treasure trove of agriculture, biotech, life science, nanotech, green tech, and all these other things that are so distinctive about California's economy to the world stage. 98% of the world's customers or opportunities of businesses here to have the customers extend beyond the borders, not just to California, but the United States. So we've got to go at it.
Along with it, how important is direct foreign investment to the state of California, especially when it comes to renewable energy?
Well, it's huge. I mean, we're all looking for capital, and capital flows, of course, know no geography. And we have all this wealth around the world looking for great investments. California leads. It's the dominant player in low-carbon green growth strategies and green tech. We know that from the amount of venture capital that comes out of the state, second to none. So the opportunity for direct foreign investment is there as long as we go at it and make a case for it. We have programs like EB-5 that most folks don't even know about that are not even exercised or utilized. We already have seen some growth, and Tom's great leadership and work in this is a big part of it. We're seeing our exports start to increase. We're starting to see some good signs there, but we're still playing in the margins of what we're capable. It's happening, but not at the level where I think new exercise leadership can take it.
What can we do as a state to enhance, say, the EB-5 program in attracting foreign investors to the state to help with renewable energy?
It's support the work folks like Tom are doing. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this whole paradigm, we've been looking for Sacramento to solve all these problems. And I'm convinced, I'm new to Sacramento, I'm convinced we're looking at the wrong place. We've got to look regionally. We've got to look to leaders like Tom, amplify their voices. I said just a moment ago in the speech, I said it's about regions rising together. It's about scaling best practices and good ideas. And it's about reconciling the fact that folks like Tom have the answers. They've been doing this. They have the relationships. So it's about amplifying his voice, connecting his voice to others so that we're doing something at the scale of a state that requires scale to move the needle.
You were saying during your speech how important renewable energy is to the economic growth of this state. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you see that?
Well, it's still a relatively small percentage of the overall economy, but in percentage terms of growth, it's one of the fastest growing sectors of our economy. We're about to enter into the implementation phase of AB32, something we've been talking about since 2006 when Governor Schwarzenegger signed the legislation to allow us to enter into a cap-and-trade program. A lot of folks have forgotten about cap-and-trade. That was the big debate that we were having a few years ago in Washington, D.C. They decided to punt, California's stepping in. And in November, we'll start the first sales of these new credits. And so we're the only game in town, so to speak. All eyes are on California to get this right, which means we have to be open to argument, interested in how this is playing out in terms of the impact it's having on our utilities, investor-owned utilities, as well as public-owned utilities, and the like. But this is a great opportunity because those dollars that are generated will be reinvested into low-carbon green growth strategies to dramatically change the way we produce and consume energy. Is going to require small business creation and startups and scales in terms of our programs, from renewables programs to efficiency programs and the like. So this is a remarkable moment in history for California to once again be the envy as it relates to job creation as opposed to being the lagger.
I'm here with Wes Allgreen of the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, and we're here at the Energy Summit. Can you tell me how does energy will be involved in, say, EB-5 funding for your region?
Right, so we've been engaged in EB-5 for about a year and a half now, looking to partner with a regional center to marry them up with projects here in the Coachella Valley that make sense for the EB-5 investor. As you know, the EB-5 is a visa program where foreign direct investment can allow them and their family to get a green card to the U.S.
Do you have currently some emerging companies that are looking to use EB-5 fundings to move energy projects forward?
We do. We have some large companies that are using EB-5 as a part of their capital stack or financial portfolio to finance the projects. We've also got some smaller companies here that are doing other projects other than renewable energy that are looking at EB-5. The EB-5 structure is changing a little bit now, so it's not a 100% finance mechanism. It's anywhere from 20 to 50% sort of seems to what makes sense for any industry. Just a couple days ago, President Obama signed an extension of the EB-5 Act, so we've got another 3 years, which adds some certainty. Certainly, I think we would have liked to see it made permanent, but 3 years is a good amount of time.
And as a city or a regional economic agency, do you see using EB-5 funds as a source to replace the state redevelopment dollars?
I don't know if they're a direct source for redevelopment. They're a piece of that. We're looking at infrastructure finance districts and things like that to maybe replace the RDA, loss of RDA at the local level. EB-5 is another component. Most of the EB-5 investors, though, are really concerned about how do we get our money back. And so what's the payback mechanism after 5 years or 8 years or whatever the term of the note is. And to do that, you have to have sort of a mechanism to either bond for those dollars on the back end or have a payback provision. And so that's where the marrying of these different sort of finance mechanisms comes into play.
And can you tell me specifically what types of projects or what current projects do you have on the books for EB-5 in this region?
So in this region, there's several. Personally, what I'm working with is a large solar project, a hotel project, and a mixed-use development. But there's been a golf course. There's also a downtown development project, and there's several other projects that have happened or are happening now with other regional centers. So it's a sort of a large piece of the development portfolio here in Coachella Valley.